Good morning, you guys. I decided to go live because I didn't have time to do a video and then upload it. I'd rather just go live and and do a short live, okay? Because I gotta get out of here in a few minutes. So I'm gonna wait and give you guys the opportunity to start coming into the room. I'm gonna give everybody the opportunity to start getting notifications. Hey, Gina. Hey, Joy Love Scott. You guys, make sure y'all hit the turn on your notifications and hit the like button. I decided to do a live because I didn't have time to do a video and then upload it. We'll do a quick live. I see 22 people. We're going to wait and let other people start coming in. Hey, Gray Face. I was just listening to the Breakfast Club. You know what? She just did a interview on Breakfast Club. And so I haven't seen the one on Angela Yee yet because I was looking for that one, but I think she did an interview on there too. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Yeah, it's a cold morning. We'll be on here for about 45 minutes, right? Because I gotta go get my face beat. I gotta go get my face beat. Hit the like button. I'm just waiting for people to start coming in. Okay. I wanted to talk about the interview that Mia J did on the Breakfast Club on yesterday, and it's very hurtful to just listen to her and how she's trying to push forward. And I definitely do believe that she is one of the ones that is going hard for young Dolph. She loves him. Okay, I do believe that she loves him. I'm happy that she has decided to start using her voice. I wanted her to do that. I understood why she was not doing that, because a lot of times when you're in it, because that's his immediate family. When you are in this, you want to, you know a little bit more, and you don't want to say too much. People was already judging her, and you don't want to say too much, to put too much information out there. And I do believe people was trying to pressure her to do that so that they can have something to eat off of, because she wasn't saying anything. I think people thought that they could bully her into saying something. That's a way for them to dissect it and have more, to vlog on. And she basically spoke about her feelings, um, about what's going on in the case. She spoke about how her son angered, how angry Trey was at one time, and she spoke about all of that, about how she was not satisfied, um, with just, with what happened with Judge Coffey, and hearing a lot of stuff that they should have been hearing on the TV, and I think what Steve Mulroy and them tried to do was make us believe that they was and talking with the family and getting their approval. Okay, that was some trickery, right? But basically she was saying they gonna have to hear her and ain't no shit, right? Basically she was saying that they was getting calls saying this is what it is, right? So that was conniving right there, because Steve Mulroy and them understands how big Young Dolph's case is and how people all over the world is watching them and rooting for justice as it relates to him, and definitely has a lot of compassion for his family, right? And so they know, by saying, well, the family is in agreement with it, it causes people to go, okay, well, if the family is in agreement with it, we're gonna leave it alone, right? So I'm happy that she is speaking out about it, but I want to play a little bit of it, okay? I felt the interview was very interesting, and like I said, I had to get on here and do a live because I got some things I gotta do, definitely gotta do today. It's cold, y'all. I don't be wanting to do nothing when it's cold, but I have an event tonight, so I gotta go get my face beat. Hold on, cause let me turn my heater on because my dogs are up under me and my computer is about to die. More room ride. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button regardless to what channel you all are on. Hit the like button. I'm definitely supportive of Mia J. Okay. I guess we'll make this a reaction video. Wake that ass up in the morning. Soul, gospel, all of that, right? And that's like Jill Scott, Flo Scott, all of that. That's Jasmine my vibe Sullivan. Too. I'm with you. That's your energy too. That's my energy. Mm-hmm. That is really my energy. Always has been. So when she would play him, I'm like, listen. She's talking about how she met Young Dolph. I'm straight, but once I actually met him, she said that for a long time. Once we actually met, he was really too cool for school for me. Like we met at the mall. Finally, and he like, put your number in my phone. I'm looking like, boy. Like, then I'm gonna give my feelings on it, and then I'm gonna drop the mic and get off. It was just a real easy going. Like we just got up as friends, and when he spoke, and when we talked, and when we, just kicked it, I was like, dang, he really is filled with some substance. Like he's very intelligent, or he's very focused and determined. So all of those things, it was those character traits that really attracted me to him. And after a long time, I was like, I fell in love with him because he was like different than what the eye just saw, So that's how we met. When you talk about like the interviews that you watch that make you smile, or maybe you start your day with, what's like one of your go-to things or like messages that he has out in the world? To be honest, it's really one of his songs. One of the songs when I really my go-to is like this song called "You Got It" with Vito, and I feel like he talking to me. When he was here and he played the song, I was like, "Oh, you talking about me?" But it's like this, like, baby, you got it. You look like a goddess. You got me. Like the words that he's saying is like when I need to be picked up, like to find another one like you, I doubt it. Just all of these different types of things. Like it's your world. They can't do nothing about it. Like it's something that breathes life into me. Like just keep going. That he will be proud of you just for keeping going. Joy. I've been seeing you speak out about the criminal case, and you said that you've had some frustrations. Like, and you've been advocating for a fair trial. What do you mean when you say a fair trial? So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things. Obviously, I can't say.
But the thing is that, each victim, they have it's a victim's bill of rights, right? And you're supposed to communicate with them. You're supposed to update them. It's been things that, like, I've been updated via the media, and it's just a form of disrespect that I felt like, why should I get on the internet and see anything there first, and I just feel like the courtesy, let us know. It's been things that, just the way I feel like the family was being handled, just as when they do give us updates and we're like, oh, we don't like how that, that don't sound kind of right, like a low bond like that. And it's like, well, this is what we doing. And I've talked to other people consulting with other attorneys and former U.S. attorneys, and they're like, well, your voice should be heard. Like, if it's something that you guys are not really liking, it doesn't sit well, like, have they tried to, talk to you guys about meeting in a better common ground or presenting different types of terms? I'm like, no, it's pretty much like, this is what it is. You like it. This is what we doing. And, it's a U.S. case. And so it's not a Dolph case or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, listen, this is not fair the way that this is being handled. And if we have rights as victims, like, let's honor those rights and let's respect the family and let's do a better job of communicating and making sure that the family is, in agreement with what's going on a little bit more. Especially if there's room for that, let's make room for that.
Right. What's your thoughts on Memphis? How do you feel about Memphis? Because, of course, Memphis, he was killed in Memphis. But Memphis has so much love for Dolph, right? And I seen it at the car show we did in Memphis. I mean, the amount of people that came out and was crying and just happy to see everything from his artifacts to how it was built to the Dolph Museum that was built. What's your thoughts on that? Because he took your baby.
Yeah, no, for sure. And my brother, because my brother was there too. It's bittersweet for me because Memphis is very supportive, even of me, the movement, my kids, just everything, like Dolph. And it's really like kind of split. Like, for me, it's very hard because I'm this person that's like, listen, like, you with me, you not, like just get away from me type of thing. And it's kind of hard with it being a city where, you could be in support over here, you could be in support there, just different types of places and stuff like that. And it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'll be like, where you really stand? Like, I feel like that's what kind of be in the back of my mind in a sense. And, safety-wise, it's just like, not even just in terms of Dolph, it's just like it keeps seeming like it's being worse and worse. And not just in Memphis, but in a lot of urban areas where, for me, safety-wise, I'm like, listen, I don't want to be nowhere near it, But at the same time, it's so hard not to because he did love that place. And there is so much work to be done, and there is a huge support. And I do have a love for Memphis because that's where I did my growing years. I grew up as a young woman in Memphis, so I definitely have love, but it's very bittersweet.
Is it true the judge was removed from the case?
It was. That was one of the things that I learned via the internet, via social media.
Why it was removed?
So how I understand it, he was removed because there was one of the what do you call them people? Defendants, right? Him. He made a song in jail and he was reprimanded by the judge, but the judge didn't follow the proper protocol in reprimanding him, and so for that he had to recuse himself, which basically like, hey, if this wouldn't have happened now, later on down the line, it could have been like, we want to
mistrial or something.
Yeah, or something like that. So I see the benefit, but also it was just so many things about it, the questions that I had, like, kind of, it's just a lot. And I guess you have to understand the legal system for how those type of technicalities happen, but it's basically how it happened. But he's a seasoned judge, very seasoned. I've done my research on him, very fair. Seemed like he would be very appropriate for the case, but things have happened in a different type of way. So
I am shocked one of the defendants got bond though. For a crime so heinous. I'm shocked they gave him a bond.
When you asked about that, what was the explanation of, like, even just the number?
Well, they're very vague, so, and I get that, like, and I honor the vagueness because there is a sensitivity that you got to protect information and stuff. So they weren't very direct about why that happened, right? But they said that this was one of the best, this was a decision that they had to make, that they felt like they were making a pretty much good decision. So we got to wait and see.
You just have to trust so much right now in things that you don't understand. Is that really tough? Like, what do you worry about most when it comes to the case?
And you know what? I'm glad you just said, it's like the trust so much. That's why it pulls you. Like for me, I've just been pulled to like, you got to just trust God. You got to lean not to your own understanding. You got to lean to God's understanding, because I will never understand why he was taken, to why the process is like what it is, to so many different types of things. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Let me just make sure my heart stay in the right type of posture and condition, so my prayers can be honored, like that justice will be served, and that I will one day understand soon enough, because it's nothing. I can't sit back and just keep worrying about it, because it's not going to do any justice for my body, my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, me being able to have the strength to keep going for my children. I just got to be able to trust in the process and just know that, like, everything is going to work out for the good,
How much of it is too much to take in? Like, because do you want to know the why and the who and the what?
I do.
Like, really?
I do. I want to know the why and the who. I want to know those. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure once that time comes and those actual trials come, I'm gonna probably be shaking. And I know I probably will, because when my brother, I sat in like one of his, like, so Dolph's taking kind of overshadowed my brothers, right? But in the beginning of my brothers, I would go and I was listening and just hearing the defendant talk and whatever the case may be, I was just shaking. Like, I cannot believe this. It was so just
surreal.
Yeah, and it was like I can't quite explain how I was feeling, but it's gonna take a lot out of me. But it's just something I'm gonna have to take. I'm just gonna have to take it, because I do want to know why. Because I need that type of understanding. Like, why would what was so severe for that to happen? Like, I need to know the facts.
And how are your kids doing?
My kids, to be honest, they're doing a lot better. I was listening to this interview the other day with Charleston White, and he was talking about the effects of like young boys or whatever, and they get so angry, and when they're young, they don't have their fathers. They have so much anger pent up in them, and they end up channeling that anger in different types of ways, and end up wanting to take somebody's life and this and that or whatever. And when I was listening to it, I recognized my son after his father passed up until like probably the beginning of this year, so angry, and was never that child. Like, when I tell you, like, stellar child, he was that. But he was so angry, and like, I'm talking about, like, if I was like, give me the phone, he like, no. Like, he want to step up to me, anybody. He'd step up to anybody, and so
that's trauma, though. He's just projecting the pain and the hurt he feels from losing his father.
He was, but like he said, you got to channel that, and I understood it, and it was making me mad. Sometimes I'm like, listen, I'm restraining myself right now, because you got me messed up coming at me like that. But I was like, I'm gonna find a proper help for you. So I put him in a mentorship program and a karate program, and he even tried his karate coach or whatever. Like, if you see this big guy right here, he about that size, and he was like, I'm about to let him know I ain't scared of him. I'm scared of not. I'm tired of not speaking up and saying. He was 7 years old at the time. 7 years old, talking about or 8 years old. I'm tired of not letting him, like, making him feel like I'm scared of him. And I was like, I don't think he think you scared of him. He was like, well, I'm gonna speak up. He spoke up. He stepped to the dude. He got picked up by his little karate suit up in the air, about 6 feet off the ground, or about 3 feet off the ground. And he got dealt with. And I had to allow that to happen, because it was hard to watch.
But you were there when it happened.
Yeah, I was there. I had to walk out, because I was like, listen, I just don't know. But I needed to let it happen, because I did respect his mentor, his coach or whatnot, and it needed to happen. And from that day on, he ain't tried me, him, nobody. And the coach told him, like, man, you got a spirit that's trying to get you to self-destruct. You angry, I understand, but you need to learn how to control it. Self-control is everything, right? And afterwards, I was like, what did Daddy used to always say? He was like, if you're not in control, you out of control. And I was like, so we need to stay in control, because being out of control, like, you got to maintain self-control. And so we worked through those. And when I tell you, from that day and just ongoing, my son, it's like a burden was lifted off of him. And he's doing so much better, so much back kind of to his old ways and his old self. And I'd be thankful for that, just for channeling that energy in the right type of direction,
You think it's more to Dolph's murder than just what we know?
Gut wise, I'd be feeling like that. But then I just be like, you know what, I don't know. And I just don't believe in sending myself down a rabbit hole, based on
internet gossip.
Yeah, just any of that. I had to, because it's a lot that was out there, and like, you cannot get caught up in that. Like, it's so many people. It be people trying to talk about him like they knew him. I'm like, I slept with this man every night. Like, y'all don't know him? What are you talking about? Like, but, and I'm like, so my gut feelings are totally, they could be totally different. But even that, like, I don't know. I don't have the facts. I don't know the answers. I don't know. So even when people misquote me or take pieces of anything I may say, it's like, I said, I don't know. I want to know. I pray for knowledge and understanding and all of that. Don't get it twisted with me saying anything based on what's already been presented. Like, I'm just based on what's been presented. I may have an opinion about it, but ultimately nobody, even the stuff that's been presented, nobody truly knows.
Do you have any concerns that justice won't be served?
I don't. I don't have that because I really, really stand real firm that it will. And I don't even want to start to allow myself to diverge into different ways of thinking that it won't. Like, I don't even want that's because that's negativity to me. Like, that ain't nothing but a negative thought. And I can't even let that just enter inside of me or, like take over me or even be a thought. Like, I got to have positive thoughts and justice will be served,
Can you break down mind frame early on, right? And the reason I ask is before the Breakfast Club, 16, 17 years ago, Dolph always had a mind frame of what he wanted to do business-wise, right? He never signed to a major. He didn't want to sign to a major. Everything was independent. Most of that comes from, of course, your queen. You're having conversations late at night. So explain that mind frame and where it came from and what was some of the thought process back then?
Mine or his?
Both.
So I think Dolph, like, he just really believed in ownership. He did. And I think that ultimately Dolph almost like, he used to always say, like, he didn't think he was going to be there long, like he was going to live long, right? And he used to say that because he felt like that it was he had so many near-death experiences. Like, I used to be like, you like a cat with 9 lives. Like, literally. I'm talking about before any of the ones that we know about publicly.
Right.
I'm talking about car accidents to all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he is like, every time he made a new year, he was just like, I'm just thankful. I'm grateful to be here. But I think that he wanted to leave something behind. He wanted to do something for his family that, like to just set them up. And I think ownership in his mind, like what he knew about it and what he was learning about it, like, if I don't own it, you know what I'm saying? What can I really pass down like that? Even at some point of the physical. So I think it was a lot of that. And it was that determination. Like, I want to do something for my family within my lifetime. I want to set my family up in a way that, it'll count for generations. Talk about generational. And I was like, when we would have those conversations, I was like, when I was in school, I'm a finance major. Mm-hmm. I was like, I always wanted to, set up generational wealth, but they didn't teach me about that in school, right? And so we would talk about it, and I was like, it was like I was there with him, but I'm going to be real with you, like, even me at that time, a lot of conversations, like, I would have them with them, but I didn't understand what that looked like to even build it. Even the type of ownership, I didn't understand what all that meant and looked like. And now that he's gone, it's like, oh.
This is what he was talking about.
I see now, and so, but he was just like light years ahead. And I just looking back when we would have those conversations, I'm gonna be there, boo. Yeah, generational wealth, us. You know what I'm saying? I'm there with you. What you need me to do? But I didn't really understand I didn't understand at that time.
Is it true he owned over 100 properties in Memphis?
Dolph owned properties, not just in Memphis, but he owns properties just like across the, just the country or whatever. So it's not just in Memphis. And he did do a lot of investing in the right areas, like he would just reinvest his money really wisely, in different types of ventures and things like that. So he definitely was just, like I said, just very committed to establishing, just like I said, the milestones for generational wealth.
So y'all straight.
Yeah, thank God.
Praise be to God.
Thank God. Like, we are.
What's your day-to-day like now? Like, as a mom, as a business owner? I think, we talk to you a lot about, like, Dolph, but, like, what are you like on a day-to-day as a businesswoman because of all of that you got to watch and be a part of?
Kind of needs to be more squiggly.
Man, like, I'm gonna say running around with a chicken, like a chicken with my head cut off, and not like seriously, because everything works its way out. But it's like I'm taking on mommy, daddy business. Like, I have so much more responsibility than when he was here, right? And it's just like I had to take off multiple hats. So I start off the day, I'm mommy. You know what I'm saying? Making sure lunches get out. All of the same stuff I used to do. Lunches get out. breakfast gets made, kids get out to school, then I'm working on various parts of my business, the advocacy part of my business, trying to actually, like, we got to make money to keep the business sustaining itself and stuff like that. So that part of it, leading a team, doing that, having to cut that off clean, like, so when my kids come home, they have me back. Mm-hmm. And that's I can say when he was here, he didn't want me to work at all. Like anything that I was doing at that time in his life, he probably was like, you're getting on my nerves. Can you just be in the kitchen, cook us some good meals, make a smoothie? I don't know. Y'all had a thing one time. He's like, can you make me a smoothie? Mm-hmm. But just doing all of these things, keeping the family together, that was my priority. And, the only way that he bought into it was that, like, I used to be like, let me do my chores first and then I'll go do my business, right? So now that's the same mindset that I have. Like, okay, let me do my chores. My chores is being there for my kids, doing homework, all of that stuff. Once that's done, then you can do whatever you want to do business-wise. And that's kind of, I'm juggling that, and it becomes very chaotic and a lot, but I'm getting through it.
Were y'all planning the wedding?
We weren't. Like, so we were in that, like, listen, we had just told our therapist or whatever, like, we're ready to start doing premarital.
Y'all going to therapy?
Yes.
Okay.
We were doing therapy, and it was, I would recommend that to anybody. If you want to bring stuff of wanting to, like, walk away or anything within your relationship, go to therapy first. And we had a faith-based therapist, and that really helped us a lot because that's really where relationship starts or whatever. And it started I could even see the changes in him, like, with our, like, what is the duty of a husband, and you're the leader of the household. And so a lot of things, like when she would put things in certain types of ways, he was grasping it. He was changing. I could see how he was dealing with me, and me too. What's the duties of a wife? And so we got to a point where we was like, we cannot wait to like celebrate this moment, because we've come a long way. And so she had just sent me, like, on November 15th, she had just sent me the questions for the premarital counseling. And I was like, okay. When he comes back from out of town, he had left that Monday. Let's see, I think that was the same day that he left to go to Memphis was the day she sent it to me. And I was like, okay, our sessions was on Wednesday. I was like, he gonna be out of town, but once he comes back, we gonna get on so we can start doing this. And one of my girlfriends was planning, like, a big party for Future, actually. And I was like, as soon as you get done, she was a wedding planner. I was like, as soon as you get done with that, we're gonna send our little deposit and get started. And it was gonna be a surprise wedding. We wanted people to show up for my birthday. And they thought they was coming to, like, a ball, a gala or whatever, and we were going to get married, and he wanted his parents to have their vows renewed there. Oh, man. And that's where we were in the planning phase of things. It was like, we ready to celebrate how far we've come. And that Wednesday came, and it was like, you could have never paid me to believe that we wasn't going to have a chance to dive in. Like, the questions, I was like, these questions good. Like, I cannot wait to go into therapy with him with these. And we just never made it there. Never made it there.
I'm so sorry that you got to go through any of this.
Absolutely.
That's why your organization, your movement is so important. That, even just putting that into the universe, Black men deserve to grow old. Yes, we do. Black women as well, but yes, Black men definitely.
Absolutely.
So it's just, yeah, man. I'm sending you healing energy always.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you for joining us.
Yeah.
And how can people follow you if they want to follow you?
Y'all, I'm having to hold back tears because it's very, it's extremely hurtful. And I think I just been emotional this week anyways, because I got some things, like, I got an important situation today, and this evening, my dad can't be there, but I'm holding back tears because, I think about, even with me vlogging on this young Dolph's case, how, I guess how critical people have been, right? How our people are still just really just lost. How you see people being assaulted cyberly for wanting to put the truth out, and how our people are just so messed up that people are still being paid to attack this woman, to attack young Dolph, to try, because they can't stop justice from happening, but to try and I guess to try and help somebody else's career, which they try and put distorted information out, all because they don't want to ruin, I guess, careers when, you know, you have to reap what you sow. So regardless to what goes on, there's still a God, and no devil in hell could ever derail the plan of God. And so, you know, thinking about that happened in Memphis, and I don't think that Mia J means any harm. You know, I know it's got to be hard, especially listening to that. You know, they're planning to, they're at a phase where they're going to get married, and she's waiting for him to come back. And you know, they take him out that Wednesday, and just thinking about what I was told about, um, you know, when they spotted young Dolph, which is why I don't feed into a lot of, you know, what people have put on the internet. As I said, I was not told that the cookie shop was involved by anybody credible. I was told that he was followed, and once they spotted him, I don't know if somebody told them that he was in the area. A call was made, and whoever it was that was on the other end of that phone, they told him to make sure that he did not come out of that cookie shop. It goes to show I stand on that, and that's why I've been attacked, not just because of the jealousy of other people. They can't see past their jealousy, but because people have been paid. But I guess the attacks have a purpose, because in my attacks, they've been able to uncover quite a few people who are working for these people that did this to young Dolph, and some of the other criminalistic things that have been going on, right? So I say, God, if it had to be me, why not me? Because I can't be bought or paid for it, simply because I have my own situations going on, okay? And I guess I get emotional because I think about when she say, you know, young Dolph left a legacy behind for his family. My dad was didn't have as much money as young Dolph, but my dad worked and he built quite a bit, and he left a legacy behind for his family, which is why none of us have to sell out. I ain't no bottom feeder. I wouldn't sell out if I didn't have anything, okay? But I think about, you know, her being on the Breakfast Club and how people have been consistently coming at this lady. You know, is there anything that we won't do for money or for clout? Here's a lady who is advocating that Black men deserve to grow old. Some of these same Black men that have been coming at her, that has no couth, because she's saying they took out my man, and I want to make sure, because of course it has to be watched. You know, people, when there's an opportunity, look at the judge that I specifically did a video on that judge earlier. I was looking at it last night, and I didn't feel like doing one on her last night. When I saw that, I'm specifically looking at this judge who has a substance issue. And when you have people like that that are not coherent, and I'm not saying that the judge that they have on the case now is like that. What I'm saying is, like, sometimes things of this nature can happen. And Mia J said exactly what I had been putting into the atmosphere, that even though she did not want Judge Coffey to be removed from the case, she understands, because as I said before, you heard her say it, if it had not happened, they could have asked for a mistrial, and then Straight Drop could have went free. Straight Drop's attorney came in. I don't, well, you know, certain defense attorneys, I know how defense attorneys work. When they hire investigators and things of that nature, when they know that a case is airtight, the first thing they say to us is, we need you to find this person, that person. They don't really care if the person is lying. You know, if they be willing to say this, and that. They got an airtight case. We got to start poking holes in the case. And that's exactly, I said that from the beginning. And that is exactly what Straight Drop's attorney did, because a Straight Drop's attorney understand that you can't get out of a million pages, right? And so, you know, like I said, I hate that this happened. It's extremely hurtful. Like I said, I had to hold back tears because I could still hear the hurt in her voice. I can see the hurt in her eyes, and to see that little Trey was having anger issues. And we all recognized that when we looked in little Trey's eyes and we saw how angry he was. He has his dad's eyes. You know, when he would look up at his mom, like when he was being quiet, he was old enough to understand what had gone on with his father. and hearing that they had to be quiet and, you know, not saying anything, but all the time knowing what had happened, or having an idea of what has happened, because you can try and protect your kids, but the internet is undefeated, right? She can't keep them in a box, right? I'm sure he's heard things, or have seen things, or read things as it relates to his father, because he was very close to his father. So he's on the internet looking at his dad's videos and things of that nature, not really paying attention to the whatever message it is, but just wanting to see his dad when his dad was alive, right? And so that's the reason why I say, and I know a lot of people gonna say, well, she sure be having the dreams about a lot of people. I had a dream. It's weird about Yo Gotti last night. Like I go through my seasons of dreams, and I don't know why, because I don't know why out of all people I'd have a damn dream about Yo Gotti. And Yo Gotti was riding through a field, and it was like he was trying to catch up with me. And when he caught up with me, he was like, "You gonna have my back? Are you gonna have my back?" You know, he kept asking me, "Are you going to have my back?" You know, it was like he was trying to get me to work for him or something like that. But let me tell you something. You know, hey, just because it was me, it probably is somebody else, because I've been very prophetic in dreams, because Yo Gotti know I would never work for him. I don't have to take crumbs. And I let me tell you something. I've always stood on the side of what's right. And it's funny because that's one of the reasons why I put my dad's picture up. My dad was not a perfect person, but my dad was a righteous person as it came to not selling people out. Okay. And you know, I think about, you know, like with Yo Gotti, okay? And the reason why I say that Yo Gotti should be ashamed of himself is because a lot of people want to omit Yo Gotti on what happened, but everybody knows, if they're going to be honest, okay, that it started with Yo Gotti and it's going to end with him. Even if God has to be, Yo Gotti needs to hope that the criminal justice system deals with him, you know, rather than God, because that God get back ain't nothing nice, right? That God get back is not anything nice. And when I thought about that dream, when I woke up this morning, I was like, dog, you know, he's probably talking to some of his people about, because it's getting crucial, you know. Even with Mia J being doing her interviews, you could still feel a relief and a release on her, because she's been speaking. One thing I do know, and that's one of the reasons why I said that I'm glad that she is speaking out. The criminal justice system does not like to be embarrassed, but when you're going to do it, you're going to do it right. I ain't talking about a lot of this crap, this baloney that you see some of these people speaking about when they know that they're not telling the truth. That's funny to a lot of these people, and they like it. They like it. They all, you know, that's crazy. They feel like they can get away with something. But when you come with true facts, okay, when you talk coherently and then a bunch of crap, a bunch of baloney, that is what they are in fear of. Okay, that's what they are in fear of, because a lot of people, even when they talk about, I got some paperwork, they don't know the damn law. Okay, so they don't even know what they're talking about when they're verbalizing what is on some paperwork, because it means nothing, right? So you know, I'm, like I said, I'm happy that she's speaking out and spreading awareness, because that is the main thing, right? I always say the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. That's one of my favorite sayings. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing, and she's keeping the main thing the main thing, right? And keeping all eyes on this judge is a good thing, right? I'm not saying that this judge is corrupt, but as when people know that they are being watched, it's hard for them to try to slither anything, right, up under the table, because it's going to be some repercussions behind it. You know, people are going to catch it. And that's why I say anybody that is truly have an interest in getting justice for young Dolph. We know everybody don't have an interest in it, right? We know some of the people were paid to be put on here, or they want to be on here for selfish reasons. They think they're going to get a movie done or a documentary or something like that. But God has a plan for people like that, because the stuff that these people have done on here is absolutely crazy. It makes me shame that a lot of them are even in our race. And the thing about it is, a lot of these cuckabug heads that was on here spewing out this, acting a damn fool and spewing out a lot of this BS and taking the focus off the main thing, was being pushed by a lot of people of other races. Y'all let people of other races make y'all act a bunch of damn fools. We understand a lot of you come out the goddamn sewer, you motherfuckers. But you let people of other races push y'all out to look like a bunch of damn fools. And they the ones that benefit, because a lot of y'all got reports and up under investigation while them hackers and shit hide behind y'all, right? But it's a darn shame before God what people do for money, right? When all of the black men should be standing behind a black woman like this. She said all men deserve to grow old. What's so wrong, okay, about her wanting to push and wanting to have justice for her man, right? Yes, I know that Yo Gotti and Big Jook and Black Youngster and Straight Drop and all of them are black men, but they took a, okay, don't get me started. They was wrong. They was wrong on so many levels, okay? And I think about Trey, the anger that he was developing because he can't understand why these folks took his daddy from him. He can't understand that it was jealousy and they was led by a demon. He is a child. All he knows is he want his daddy who was visible in his life. All of these motherfuckers got kids. And then they got the nerve to be spending out, and God gonna make them spend out all types of money until they dry. Yo Gotti out here. Okay. What good is it, Yo Gotti and Jook and all of y'all? What good is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? In the midst of all of this jealousy, a lot of them have lost their souls. They've having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on security. Okay, I've heard about it. I heard Player Coach say security for Yo Gotti is costing him about $100,000 a month. Okay, I don't know if it's exaggerated, but that's what he said, and I can't believe it. Having to secretly spew out money on attorneys. So what good was it to take a human being from his family all because of words and put that into the damn atmosphere with these young guys that it's okay to take a life just because you mad? And that's the reason why God got to get a lot of them back. It's not okay. It's a whole lot of misguided. They got big platforms. And this is what y'all put into the atmosphere? And then have the nerve to try to make these young dudes think that doing what's right, which is telling. I'm surprised that some of these men that's on this internet, you're right, y'all starting up talking, motherfucker, do you want justice or not? Would you want your family to get justice if something happened to y'all? Some of them ought to be dead. Some people so dirty and so uncouth and low down and evil and full of the devil, they ain't got no place on this side of the earth. All they do is try to make other people's lives a living hell. Everybody don't deserve to live. Okay? You see how they are on here. But it's a darn shame the energy that has been put into the atmosphere. These black men ought to be ashamed of themselves. Yo, Gotti, do y'all know? Do your team know that a lot of these vloggers that y'all finance are pedophiles? When y'all make these damn hackers who the FBI gonna get, because I was writing up some shit last night, motherfucker, because you motherfuckers still messing with me. Okay? Do you know that a lot of them are pedophiles? But you want women to support you. Do you know it? Do you know that some of them have killed women? Do you know it? You motherfuckers think y'all got to expunge. Do y'all know what y'all people are employing on this internet? It's a darn shame before God. You know, I'm happy that Mia J is using her voice. But these are the types of people that want us to support them. Let's just be real about it. Let me be real about it. I got to get this out. Straight Drop has a charge where he assaulted a woman sexually. And the word is that one of the reasons that young Dolph backed away was because of that. Well, I'm old school. I come from an era where there was a time in the industry, whereas if you had something like that on your background, they wouldn't mess with you. That was the early 90s. Now, I mean, it's celebrated because look at what's going on with Puffy, but God is exposing it and turning it around. Okay. Well, the truth be told, we saw Straight Drop on, hey, I would have liked to see the young brother do well, because I don't know what went on really behind that sexual assault, but it's on paper. Okay. But most labels would not have touched him because they have a female fan base. And to touch artists like that would be to promote what he did, would be disrespectful to women, because there's supposed to be a sensitivity to stuff like that, right? And so they would, we got a female fan base to promote an artist like this that would be promoting that, and we can't take a chance on that negative connotation surrounded us. So we already know they don't give a damn about women, and I'm sure that's one of their biggest fan bases. Let's be real about it, okay? So the word is that's one of the reasons why young Dolph kind of backed away, right? But even still, if that's one of the reasons, I'm sure it had a lot to do with quite a bit of other stuff too that we're not privy to at this point. But even still, whatever the reasons was, it wasn't enough for Straight Drop to take him out. You know why? Because Straight Drop had been falling out with Key Glock and with Young Dolph. Young Dolph was still giving those turkey drives, still coming home, giving those turkey drives, and they had not done, Straight Drop had not done anything to him, right? If I'm not mistaken, Straight Drop got out of jail in 2021. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Okay. Early that year, around May or something like that, and they immediately started trying to finesse him. And just like the devil started dangling, okay, the idea of being signed, if it is alleged that he was signed to Big Juke's management label, okay, which is why we started seeing him on stage, okay, with Moneybagg Yo's artists, okay. They started showing him this good life, finessing a young man that was already, okay, messed up, that was already misguided, already misled. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I was talking to a friend of mine who works in law enforcement that happens to know Straight Drop's mama, and they say he was not like that growing up. He started getting around the wrong influences, okay? They say he started getting around, all kids are bad, but he really started getting around some people that has started really misguiding him. It's a lot of shit that I know that I don't say because I ain't gonna make none of them. I don't need YouTube. If I got off YouTube today, I probably would have been gone if it wasn't for these motherfuckers messing with me. But if I got off today, I'm gonna survive because guess what? I got a winner's mind. Okay. And I had a daddy that left some wealth behind. Okay. He built that like Young Dolph. That's one of the reasons why I have an attraction to Young Dolph, because he kind of remind me of how my daddy was. My daddy was a winner. Okay. All right. So I ain't got to make up no lies on this motherfucker. And if it take every dime that I got, I inherited to bring these motherfuckers that was peeking in my TV, hacking my internet to justice, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I've hired some people, motherfucker. And I'm going to do it, you bitches, you freaks. Okay? But I think it's a darn shame before God. Okay? I think it's a darn shame before God will go on, okay? But they started finessing him. And y'all expect for me to believe that Yo Gotti didn't know that this stuff was going on? I was a fan of Yo Gotti. So why would I want to falsely accuse him of anything? I was a fan. It ain't hating. I was a fan. I knew his music before I knew Young Dolph's music. I got cousins that rocked with Yo Gotti a long way when he was in them hole in the wall clubs. He got them for their protection. His protection. They rocked with him in them clubs. I ain't mad because he didn't rock with them. Them some hardcore street dudes. They got their own stuff going on. They got clubs and stuff all over Memphis. They do their own thing. Sometimes you have to back away from people that's got that street mentality. I know how my cousins rock. So I ain't on here mad at him about that. I'm mad because he brought that bad energy. And I have a passion for the youth. I used to, when I was working for the police department, the chief used to allow me when they had the juveniles over at Jail East, they had to house them at the women's prison. I went once a month and counseled with them with an organization called the Concrete Rose. And when them kids when I would talk to them, they was in there for robbery, for car theft, for murder, for all types of stuff. Okay? When I would talk to them, they would tell me about issues that was going on in their household. They was looked at as bad kids that had committed heinous crimes. And because I got kids, I know kids can be manipulative. So when I would leave, I would go right back to work and start pulling up them 911 calls, pulling their addresses, looking for them 911 calls because I could do that. I can still do it. It's a lot of stuff I don't pull up on. She don't pull up no paperwork. Motherfucker, my systems is connected to TBI, bitch. You motherfuckers will never get on here and say, she using her systems with the government to pull up information. So I don't pull up a damn thing because what I got in my systems is a lot more than what they put on the internet, bitch. I ain't no damn fool. I'm a professional for real. Okay? So I would go and start pulling 911 calls and stuff. And I would go, ooh, this child telling the truth. 911 call. Officers made scene to this address right here. Daddy was beating mama just like they said. And it was messing their children up. Okay, so I got a passion. When you hear me say jizzle them is my little sons and stuff. The kids that I was counseling with would be CEO jizzles them age right now. So I understand that they can be misled. That's the reason why I got an issue with them niggas in their 40s and 50s that understand that these kids are misguided. Okay, that they are misguided. And they use them because they know they come out of troubled homes instead of helping them. Straight Drop is a nice looking man. He's a nice looking young man. I know Straight Drop's pod officers and shit. It's a lot of stuff I can't say, but they wrong. They wrong. Okay? He's a troubled young man. And he ain't doing good. He acting out. He ain't doing good. You know why? Because you got a bunch of old niggas that used him. He ain't doing good. I don't care how he act. He ain't doing good. And that's the reason why I say God give him an epiphany. He ain't doing good. Okay? He got to pay for what he did, but he was misled by the elders who they consider the OGs. He was misled. So that's why I stay on their necks. They was wrong. They wrong. And so they bring this negative energy to the city of Memphis, a city that helped to put them on. Okay. A city that helped to put them on. Now I did a video on Moneybag the other day. He sent his people, okay, or some of his people called themselves gonna come into my vlog and threaten me. I think it was a woman. Okay, it was even a woman of that vlog, that troll that they got on here, talking about I need to be careful. No, you need to be careful when you sending out terroristic threats, especially in a big case like this. Because let me tell you something. The reason why they got as much information as they got now is because niggas thought that they were smarter than the government. And that's the reason why they was able to bring the CIA in and pull everything. Everything they thought they was going to erase. The CIA can pull it up. That's the reason why you can hear the young lady say, hey, the CIA came and the CIA came and we received a visit from the CIA. I already knew why. Okay. So that's the reason why when folks say, well, you know, Miss Tam, how come you don't believe this? How come you don't believe that? Because I know the lies when I hear it's so many lies on this internet that I don't even listen to a whole lot of other people because they don't know. It's not about making money, y'all. You have to keep the main thing where you're letting folks know we're vigilant. We are vigilant and we want justice. We watching. We ain't gonna make up nothing. We want justice by any means necessary. That's the reason why I don't let nobody come to my vlog and think that they're gonna attack Mia J. Mia J was his woman. As far as I'm concerned, she is wife. Because the Bible says when a person go unto you, you're married. They had kids. As far as I'm concerned, they married. Kiss my motherfucking ass for who don't like it. Get off my vlog. This mine right here. I don't need you two. You two need me. Okay? Unlike some. Okay? But these folks ought to be supporting her. Because she's saying all black men deserve to grow old. All of them. And because she has decided, because this has been the energy, and I guess it's a good thing. You know, I was talking to one of my friends last night when I was writing up something. He was kind of helping me to write it up. And he said, you get all up in arms about when people do things to you. He said, I've been in law enforcement too long. Don't you know it's a good thing when they do it? That's how we've been able to solve our cases. How do you think we got this far? Okay. Every case we've solved is because people didn't know how to stop doing stuff. And it took me back to what my dad said when my dad used to run for his election. And he had an opponent that they would start trying to, throw dirt on my dad's name. Oh, he's been in office for too long. It's time for him to, it's time for something new. But my dad, he had results. That's the reason why couldn't nobody beat him. Yeah, he been there too long. He's kind of antiquated with how he do stuff. But the people would say, but he sure get us results. Okay, so we ain't gonna elect nobody. He was there longer in his seat than anybody that had ever been in the seat, 20 years until he decided to go. Okay. But it took me back to when my dad said when I be passing out flyers and stuff saying vote for Rick, vote for my dad. I'd be all downtown because I would be like, oh, Dad, I gotta help you. Dad, they throwing dirt on your name. What we gonna do? But Dad, they doing this. And my dad would sit back in his chair and cross his leg, not fold his legs like a woman, because he was a real man. He'd cross them the man way with one leg over the knee. He said, I'm doing some. He say real calmly, I'm doing some, but that's the type of opponent I want. And I said, what you mean, Dad? What you mean? Like, look at all the stuff they throwing this dirt on your name. They trying to make people believe this about you. He said, that's the type of opponent I want. Because an opponent that go too far and don't know how to, an opponent that don't know how to stop and always throwing mud, they always go too far and mess themselves up. And sure enough, they would always go too far when they didn't know how to stop and get disqualified. Or the people would say, that's just too much dirt. He would always be calm and start rubbing his face. That's the type of opponent I want right there. Okay? And when my friend said that last night when we was writing up something, because these niggas hacked my internet, he said, you be all up in arms about everything. You get mad. You can keep your blood pressure up because you mad about these folks violating you. He said that's the type of stuff we like. Every case we've solved has been because folks didn't know how to stop. And it was just like my dad was saying it all over to me all over again for the years he said that when I would go to panicking. Okay. So don't think it's nothing when these folks trying to play like that they got it going on. They don't. And to them niggas that they hired that didn't know how to stop, they actually has been helping the case. Okay. I can't see it. I'm mad because you violate me. You hack into my stuff. You get some of these bottom feeding bitches. Y'all, they know how to get medical records. That's being looked into. They do all this because they feel like if we can dig up some dirt, they hack your phones, we could stop her and they gonna stop talking about Yo Gotti. I was looking at a vlogger talking about that, and I still got screenshots of it. That they claim they for Young Dolph so bad. But I was looking at some months back, and I don't know why God let me take a screenshot of it. Of them talking about, if anybody accuses Yo Gotti, we're gonna dig up all the dirt that we can dig on you. But you sitting up talking about you for Young Dolph? I gave it to the police. That's the reason why God let me snap a picture of it. And I'm hearing that's one of the vloggers because I know who behind that page. But the vlogger also has they thought it was expunged, a history of pedophilia. Okay. But it don't make no sense. The stuff that has been going on as it relates to this case, and for what? Okay, and for what? So that's the reason why I don't let nobody come into my vlog. Okay. And talk about Mia J. Okay. And I know a lot of people say, well, why do you harp on that? They hack your internet. You know why? Because they hack my TV and I walks around my house with no clothes on. All the time. You into the privacy of my home, you pedophile. You woman killer. All you motherfuckers. Some of them should be in jail anyway for killing women. You a choke a woman to death and kill her. And then they give you third-degree murder and you get out, which is a joke, which is why most people don't even have third-degree murder. Most states on the book no more because it's a joke. But I wanted to do CMG know that their people who they got out here employing these vloggers, because the police didn't have to pull their background up and communicate with some other states that they've had these crimes committed in. I wanted to do they know that they don't care if they'll take out Young Dolph for because of jealousy. They'll do anything. But these are the people y'all have to secretly represent y'all. And guess what? It ain't gonna change none. Because everything them folks need, they got. And they got it right the same night when they was paying JoJo Splat them out here to get on the internet. And JoJo Splat them so silly that, hell, I hear they was out there. But at the same time, they didn't know that they was being paid to divert attention to them, to put all that heat on them so they could be taken out. And so, as I was saying, when I think about when rest in peace Young Dolph last year, when he used to get on my panel, when he came up on my panel, he was talking about how, I don't know who it was, okay, that was riding with Young Dolph had caught JoJo Splat. That's the reason why I know, and I know it's true because JoJo Splat put it on his Facebook. I had started paying close attention to JoJo Splat. JoJo Splat was having breakdowns. JoJo Splat was 18 years old. That's the reason why I say these niggas ought to be ashamed of themselves. Okay? He wasn't handling it well. It was all fun and games at first until they started putting pressure on him. But that's the reason why I know a lot of the people that was riding with young Dolph don't have the type of devious, evil hearts, black-hearted witches like a lot of these other folks got. Because when they caught JoJo Splat, they could have did something to him. Instead, they took the chain back and let him go. Because I'm hearing he begged for his, I don't know what happened with that, okay? But then shortly after that, after things had calmed down, I started seeing him taking flights on a consistent basis. And I know flights to California, to LA is expensive. If I was paying it some attention, the feds was. So everything that them folks got, it ain't got nothing to do with no damn vlogger. It's got everything to do with them thinking that they were smarter than the government. How you gonna be smarter than somebody that created? We smarter than them because our lawyer, your motherfucking lawyer, all they do is know a little bit of that law. They didn't create this intelligence on this internet. You gonna try to outsmart the people? The government never puts out anything to include the internet until they have mastered it. How the fuck a white hacker from another country or an Iranian hacker that's over here going to school or whatever they are think they're gonna outsmart the government that taught them the system? And he's cuckable. He got a degree in computer. He got 3 degrees. He can outsmart the government. Motherfucker, you been up on the investigation of somebody going back over across that water. I don't care what label you working for. They're going to put you out of there, else you going to have them up on the investigation. But see, when you got a history of pedophilia, that's what you do when you hacking into people's internet trying to look at them through their TV in their house. Okay? And this is what CMG support. This is what they support. Okay? But anyways, y'all, shout out to Mia J. I can't be on here too long because I got to get ready to go, and I'm hearing that folks still playing in hits. They still got vloggers on here playing in hits. Ain't that something? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Because they already say I get mad and say too much. Okay. But anyways, y'all, shout out to Mia J. Okay. Shout out to Mia J. Hey, Tamika Jones. Is that my cousin Tamika? I don't know. Is that my cousin Tamika? Because if that's my cousin Tamika, she's a straight up rider. You talk about street. Her name Tamika Jones too. She one of the ones that used to be in the club, if that's her, with Gotti until he started acting funny. When he was still in the hole in the wild clubs. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I want to see. Oh, okay. Well, you ain't Tamika. If you say where I'm from, you're not her. You're not my cousin Mika. Her name's Tamika Jones too. You came in through Facebook. I was like, that's my cousin. I can't see the picture real good. I ain't got on my glasses, child. Where's Vanessa? You know what? I gotta call Vanessa. I was at her house maybe a week and a half ago. Okay, Gigi. Y'all know your eyes and stuff start to get bad and stuff. But my doctor had told me a long time ago I should have been wearing my glasses, and I did not wear it. He was like, you got a stigma. I was like, I ain't wearing no glasses, but I got them. But I hate I didn't do that because I be looking in the computer all day, every day, and it'll mess your eyes and stuff up. But I want justice, and I do want all of this mayhem that's around the Memphis area to stop by any means necessary. And as I was saying about Moneybag, Moneybag has become a ambassador for reading. Okay, I hope that he takes it seriously. I don't. I did a little video kind of messing with him the other day. Because you know he gave $1,000, but then like an hour later, his people put out something on his Instagram explaining why he only gave $1,000. So hopefully, you know, they'll give more. You know, I know a lot of people ready to say, well, you know, you working with the county mail, they're gonna help him to get off. Lee Harris ain't gonna help nobody get off here. Lee Harris trying to advance his career, and he can't advance it by doing it. He know his career is over. He'll flatline it. I'm sure he ain't never even met Lee Harris. If y'all see him on the picture, that be promo. He's working with that girl, that liaison that Lee Harris has in office. She probably already knew Moneybag, but it's a good gesture if he's serious about helping to advance, because there's a lot of illiteracy in Shelby County, child. But anyways, I hope they're doing it with a good heart. Anyways, how he an ambassador? Oh Lord. But anyways, you guys, I said I was Tamara's birthday is today, and I'm feeling it. Oh, happy birthday, Ramona! Everybody sing happy birthday to Ramona. I tell you, we get old. You know what? Everybody. That's why when people trying to call somebody old, I'm like, I mean, we get old by the second. Like everybody gets old by the second. And before you know it, if you're in your 20s, you're gonna be in your 40s. And I would never want to go back to being in my 20s. I wouldn't want to go back to being in my 30s, really. You know, I think I started figuring out who I really was. And figuring out things like, I don't know, when I was in maybe around my mid to late 30s, you know, you start to mature, you know what I mean? Like, because before then I was like, well, everybody is just so unfair. Well, why people do that? You know what, when I first started working for the police department, I was working in felony response, and I was like 22 years old, 23. I was working around all men. They were investigators. And I remember I used to say, I just can't believe that. Oh my God, I just can't believe that. Everything was, and I couldn't, because it was like a shock. I can't believe that. And I remember Lieutenant Larry Anthony was the lieutenant up there. And he was like, he was a white guy. And I loved him so much. He was so good to me. And he was like, I could tell that you've been sheltered because you can't believe nothing. And so I remember Eddie Bass, he's an inspector. I hear he's been promoted to chief inspector now. Bass is the cousin-in-law of my auntie. My auntie is married to his cousin. They was which is he's a sergeant now. I was going to say his name. I ain't gonna say his name because he works in crime scene, and he was out there on the Young Dolph's case. He's over crime scene. And so when folks talk about it wasn't no blood, I just don't even say nothing, because these folks, you weigh in Timbuktu, ain't never put your foot in Memphis, and you sitting up dissecting a crime scene that was on a picture. That's how I know people believe anything. But he used to when I used to say, well, because he was working there at the time. When it's not Robin Bass, but I know who Robin Bass is. Robin Bass was a officer too. And so when he used to and he probably still is Robin Bass. I think Robin Bass and I are Facebook friends. And I remember when I used to say that, he used to say, believe it. They used to always say, believe it, because I just can't believe that. And I think I went through my years, even when I was working for when I went through the academy and stuff, and I was out there doing traffic, and I would get back, and Lieutenant Craig was my lieutenant, because he used to be a homicide investigator, and then he got promoted, and then he was my lieutenant. And he used to always say, you still talking about you can't believe something. You gonna have to believe it. And that's, like I said, it was a shock to me. And that's the reason why I have to get myself out of saying that now. Even when I see these folks on here, this is like another shock. And I've seen everything, like working for the police department, but seeing a lot of Black people, especially women, going at each other for a dime, or because of jealousy, and working with these men to try and hurt other women because of their jealousy. I think that's another shock to me. Because surely you know when you're dealing with these men that have a history of violating women, you're going to work with them because of your jealousy and let them send you out. If they'll turn the gun on you because they don't like women. But you have a lot of women that's doing it, like being on here and seeing, like, I'm on here for a reason, though. I tell you, everything I do is for a reason. But you know, seeing this, it's like another shock to me. And seeing, you know, women, well, you know, Mia J with Dolph, you know, cause he had some money. You damn right. You supposed to be with a man that could take care of you. It's a damn shame you got old ass women that don't know that. Get you one. I've always been around men, even if they didn't have the type of money that young Dolph had, they had the potential and the mindset, man, I got to take care of my woman and my family. That's what a man is supposed to do. Get you one. It ain't nothing better than a provider and a protector. Okay, it makes the sex better when you can lay next to him. Okay, and you know he got you. He got your back. That makes that sex better. Girl, is the sex good? It's so good. He a real man. It sure is good. We bees all night. Okay, I can't get enough of him because I know he got me. I ain't got to worry about no bills, or I ain't got to worry about this and that, because he's a real man. Baby, somebody tried to break up into our house. Girl, who was it? I don't know, because I laid right into the bed and I ain't moved because that man had that. He jumped right up and got that stick. All I heard was pow, 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 and the meat wagon came and got them niggas. I ain't never had to move. And then he came and got right back in the bed, and that sex was good because he's a real man. There's a lot of women don't know nothing about that. Get you one. Young Dolph did what he was supposed to do. Okay? All right? So it's a darn shame that women get mad because Mia J had her real one. Get you one. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay? So you won't be angry. Okay, so when when people get on here and say, but you ain't got nobody, you damn right, because when because we gonna be able to be all night because he's gonna be a real man. I works hard for my stuff. You think I'm gonna let somebody come and live off of what I done worked hard for? Okay, I had one guy who I tried to. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. He was staying in my house, and we weren't even sleeping in the bed together. We used to date. We never had sex, And so I was like, well, he used to be my boyfriend, and hey, he started coming and staying at my house sometimes, and that's when I was living. I was living by the water, okay? And I was paying a lot of money to I've always loved to live by the water, okay? And so I remember that's when I was working for the government, and I was the HR manager. And I can remember I got up early to go to work, and I was like, dog, he been spending the night at my house. He won't go home. And so I went and bought me some sweet bitch. And I like to keep a lot of wine and stuff on my bar just to keep it on there. And he had started drinking up all my wine. I would look up and look in my kitchen. He was pouring all my wine. I said, okay, he ain't gave no money or nothing. He ain't said nothing about, baby, do you need some money on the bills? He been here for 2 weeks now. And I remember I got up to go to work, okay? And there's a little strip I used to ride down when I was on my way to work. And I looked back up on at my townhouse. I said, this motherfucker sitting out on my balcony drinking my wine while I'm on my way to work with no glazing over at the damn water, just enjoying life that I was working hard for, right? It had been 2 weeks, okay? And so I said, okay, I was sitting at work, y'all, because I have epiphanies. And when I have them, when something come over me and I get mad, I have a determination to fix it. Just like this situation here, them niggas gonna wish they had never focused in on me on this internet. And I ain't playing, okay? And I said, he got to go when I get home. He got to go. I don't want him there. He drinking my wine, looking at the water, and I'm working. So I got home. I said, I want to get my nails done, and I want to go get some groceries. Well, I said, you gonna give me the money? Well, I said I was trying to save a little bit. I said, pack your stuff. It's time for you to go. What you mean? I said, you going back to your friend house. You can't live here. I can't take care of you. I don't want you in my house. You gonna drink my wine up and enjoy my view while I work and not give me nothing? You been here 2 weeks. You ain't offered me nothing. You got to go. I don't want you here. You low down. You just mean. You got a mean spirit. You won't even let me sleep in the bed with you. I said, you supposed to fuck me all the way across the board? Not only are you fucking me by not giving me no bill, you want to lay in the bed and F me too? So I'm supposed to be a damn fool? You got to go. And he left. I wasn't playing. So I've always dealt with real men. He had to go, and I put him up out of there. When my mama called me, I told her what I had just did. She said, well, it took you a week longer because I had just told your sister, Chris ain't gonna let him live up in that house, and he ain't paying no bills. He ain't making no attempt to do nothing. I don't want to have to ask no man for nothing. They supposed to already know that they got to run their money. That's what real men do. It make them feel more like a man. They stick their chests out when they know they're taking care of their woman. And guess what? If he had been doing that, I'd have walked in cooking. Instead, he thought he was going to enjoy my stuff. I always worked hard for what I wanted. If we gonna move in with me, I'm supposed to upgrade, just like I got me a house now. When somebody move in, we're gonna move into something bigger. Because that's what real men do. So don't get mad at Mia J because she got the mindset and she understand what a man was supposed to do. Dolph is a real. When I heard he left for something upward of 100 mil. Okay? So she can't have just no inner scrub because he set the standards high. Okay? I like me a little thug because I grew up around them. Okay? But I grew up around the ones that know how to get money. My dad was born in the streets of North Memphis, and when he was grown, my granddad and them moved to South Memphis. That's how he met my mama, but he knew how to get money. He got munties. Okay? And when he died, he was a millionaire. That ain't bragging. I'm just telling you how you could do it. So your God and them ain't the only ones that did it, and he got it through blood, sweat, and tears. Okay? Get you one. Get you one. That's the reason why I can't have no anybody around me. I'm the gift. I'm the gift. Nigga, you gonna bring something to the table. You think you gonna enjoy what my daddy left me? No. You ain't getting ready to enjoy nothing. You gonna bring something to the table. You gonna have a winner's mind. Even if you don't know how to do it, I'm a winner. I know how to take you to another level, nigga, but you gonna be loyal. Okay? That's what's wrong. A lot of these women have got to be 50 and 60 years old still making bad choices. Mia J, they hating on Mia J because she made right choices in her 20s. Well, young Dolph was cheating. All of them cheat. All men cheat. They all gonna do a little something. Okay? You have to, some women might cheat back. I don't recommend it because I cheated back one time and it didn't work out. The man started stalking me. Okay, so don't do it because they'll lose their mind. Okay, try to ruin your household. Okay, so don't cheat back, ladies, because I tried to cheat back one time and the man flipped out. I don't know why that man flipped out, but he did it, and he scared me. And he knew what it was. Okay, so just pray to God about it. I'm blessed says they think they can do it to us, but we can't do it at him. They can't take. I'm telling you, they can't take it. He told me, you said you were gonna leave him. I'm gonna go tell it. I said, motherfucker, I am gonna leave him, but not when you say leave him. He gonna kill you because he was from North Memphis. If you come to my house, he is gonna kill you. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I just had to get on here and talk about that. Um, with Mia J's interview. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Y'all, we done all had issues. I'm telling you, we did. He was cheating. I said, well, I'm sick of him. My cousins told me, girl, you better start cheating back. I said, y'all think I should cheat back? They said, cheat back. That's what we do. I ain't gonna say which cousin it is because they be married. And that was the worst mistake I ever made. That's the reason why I say I have to do things right. Every time I've tried to do something wrong, God has always allowed me to get caught up. That's the reason why I have to walk a fine line. I have to. Some people just have to walk a fine line. Some people can do things that seem like nothing ever happens to them, but my conscience start messing with me. I get caught. It's not worth it. So I've always had to do things right and take the long walk home. So that's the reason why I say don't cheat. I said don't cheat. Be faithful to your person, and if it ain't working out, just break up and go on with your life. But even still, a man is supposed to be a provider and a protector, okay? Get you a real man that's going to provide for you, okay? Get you a real man that's going to provide, because there are a lot of good men out there, whether they thugs or not. And women are supposed to be helpmates. I love it when a man has a vision, because most men don't know a lot about business. The good thing about me is my dad taught me business. So if I know he's got a winner's mentality, he's got a dream, and he's willing to work the financial situation, baby, I'm willing to work to put money into my business. He ain't looking at me, can't you give me the money for it? I already know that's over. No, I sure can't. But if he's working to try to put money into it, I got a business mind and a winner's mind. Guess what? I'm gonna figure out how to make this lucrative for this man, because that's what real women do. But you have to make sure he's loyal, because you get with some of these men, they want you because you got your winner's mind, so you can help to put them on top so that they can go and finance a porn star. Okay, because a lot of them weak like that. They're like whores. Okay, so that's why you have to make sure that they're loyal. They want you to make them pop so that they can get all the damn porn stars and whores that's out there. So make sure you get you a loyal one that's going to appreciate your winner's mind and helping y'all to build something together. Most women jump into stuff and that man ain't proved that he's loyal to you, because number one, he going to make it official, okay, by marrying you and taking care of you, okay? Right? He's proved himself. So that's why I say I like winners. And for the most part, I've always ran up on winners. A lot of them, they just likes to cheat. They be liking to cheat. I have to get rid of them because I don't forgive. Okay. Rashad Rose says, Tam, I'm from Nashville. Shout out to Nashville. I like Nashville. It's really innovative. One of my friends was saying that he was like, Tam, we need to make an investment in something in Nashville. Because the Nashville but I'm gonna tell y'all, some Nashville investigators, a lot of them, we had to go to an investigator situation that they had. And a lot of Nashville investigators, I'm glad that I went. A lot of them are like retired CIA agents. A lot of them are so they got it going on. Like I've partnered with some people in Boston right now. And for a minute, the guy he didn't, because I was asking him, well, how do you know how to do all this and that? Like, How do you do that? He would make jokes. He's a jokester. But then I found out his background, because I was like, well, how did you get into investigative work? I like to ask people that. And he was like, well, one day, I mean, he would just make up all these stories, but I found out that he had been in the CIA for many, many years and retired. And that's one of the reasons why his firm is lucrative, because he's got a lot of knowledge and about stuff. I've had to partner with him on getting on some, Anyways, they said marriage ain't for everybody. Well, I don't know about that. I would love to be married. I would, but it's got to be a strong man. It's got to be a strong man. Okay. Shout out to Cashville. Because I would be submissive to a strong man. But the problem is most men want a woman to be submissive to them, and they ain't got the sense that God gave them. I want you to be submissive, motherfucker. You can't even make the right decisions. And if you ain't submissive to God, you out of line to ask your woman to be submissive to you, because the order is the man is supposed to commune with God and be submissive to God, which means he's supposed to be a righteous man. And he's supposed to oversee his women and his children. A lot of these men ain't doing that, but they want a woman to be submissive to them. They want a woman to take care of them. She can't respect you, and she got to provide and protect you. Everything is out of order right now, especially in our community. Black people are I don't mean no harm, but Black people are the chosen people. We're the true Jews. That's the reason why when they talk about Jesus was a Jew and he walked around Ethiopia and Africa and all of those places, who's in those places right there, like Ethiopia and all those people? Black people. He had eyes of fire, skin of coal, and hair of wool. Who does that remind you of? Nobody with white skin. But see, people don't want to hear that. You being racist, motherfucker. I'm telling the truth. And you got pastor still with white Jesus with blonde hair and blue eyes and that white hair and stuff. That ain't nothing against white people. The Bible says it. Don't nobody want to hear the truth though. And we out here acting like a bunch of hoodlums. You taking out your brother because he learned the recipe. He was one of God's chosen ones to help to bring you niggas out of Babylon, and y'all kill him because of your jealousy. That's the reason why you got to pay. That's why God gave me that dream. I always been gifted in dreams. Yo, got it riding through that field, talking about you gonna have my back. He begging anybody to have his back. If he come to me in a dream begging me to have his back, he begging anybody. Okay, because you already know how I get down. Michelle says, with Cypress, you're not with long relationships. That's why you having problems now with women. It's not the one. Cypress is a lust demon. Okay? Cypress is lustful. He's content. Okay? He is content with going from woman to woman. That's right, brother Dwayne. But see, people don't like talking about that. And then you got these nappy cuckabug head Negroes on here letting people of other races mislead them. I know how to hack. Because see, they're the ones benefiting. I know how to hack. I'll show you how to do it, and you hack her and run her off. You cuckabug head motherfucker. You gonna be the one in jail, bitch. They sending the chosen people out to go to mess up their own people. Bunch of damn fools. Now, you won't stand behind a black man. I don't care nothing about no black man that's out here violating and destroying his race. I'm not going to get on here and fake like that. I'm not, because I'm not fake. I'm real as they come. I love my people. But everybody be wanting to pacify in their mouth. Well, we had a heart. Nigga, you ain't having a heart. Get off crack. Get off of that crack. Get off of that crack and raise your children. She ain't for black people. How come she ain't for black? She said that these black men just need to get off this crack and talk about black men. Oh, okay. She talked about black men. Say we on crack. Do you do crack? Yeah. Well, I mean, she wasn't lying on you. Get off of it. It should be better for a black woman to say it than, people putting the pacifier in your mouth, wanting you to stay on it. I've never seen so many drug rehabilitation centers and all of this stuff that they putting up, y'all. They're not being proactive now. The money is in being reactive. Okay. The money is in being reactive, which means after you get on crack, we could send you to 1 hour drug rehabs. How about promoting what they used to promote? Just say no to drugs. But it ain't no money in being proactive. If you don't get on it, they can't make the money in trying to get you off of it. I know I'm telling the truth. I've been into this too long. I've seen it. My dad was an elected official. I had the opportunity to sit in the midst of it and see it all. I see what go on. That's why I'm disappointed in a lot of these black politicians, because they are directly a part of what's going on in our community also, because they take crumbs and sell out for crumbs, selling their own people out. It's a darn shame before God. That's the reason why I said my dad was the last of a dying breed. They fought him, but they couldn't do nothing to him. They did everything that they could to try and take him down. Everything. For 20 years. I never forget when my dad was first elected, they did not want him in that position so bad. They was following my dad. They was following him. I believe they had plans on taking him out. My dad started putting things in place for us, like back in back in 1979. My dad had started an account for me and my sister that's right behind us when he was in the Army. Y'all hit the like button for me. I love my dad and I miss him so much. I remember, I never, and I'm not bragging, I was in college when I had my first baby. I never bought a pamper. I would have been out there just like any other young girl who was out there that had a baby, who had a dude that was not doing what he was supposed to do. My dad would go to Sam's and buy big boxes of Pampers. He bought boxes every month. I had so many Pampers that when and pull-ups that when I had my second baby, my closet was still full. I never bought a Pamper. That man said, you got other things to worry about. You can't be worried about trying to be constantly running to juvenile court to get a no good Negro to do nothing. You got school. You got other things. You got bigger fish to fry. You don't need to be worried about no Pamper. And ask Vanessa. I had so many that even after I had my second baby, I still had them. All of that stuff. Vanessa had her babies right behind me. I gave to Vanessa. He always made sure that my sisters and I had a credit card and we were supposed to put nothing but gas on it. He always paid for AA. It's just, and it's so weird that he paid up he would always pay up for so many years. Like even now, like we still got our AA cards that he paid up for. He passed away this year and it's still paid up for, I think he paid it up for like 36 months or something like that. So it's just something. He was a real man. Y'all run the likes up for me. Run the likes up. So don't get mad at no woman for getting herself no real man. Get you one. Don't get mad. Get like her. That's what I say. Don't get mad. This is one of my favorite. This is my favorite saying right here. Don't get mad. Get lost or get like her. Okay. Don't get mad. Get lost or get like her. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that, so witty. Greyface says Jizzle got a new interview with Cameron McDale. Y'all check it out. Okay. I'm gonna get emotional talking about my dad. I got to go to an event tonight, and it's an event that my dad actually started. I said I wasn't gonna be on here long because I gotta go get my face beat. I gotta get my eyebrows done, and I'm looking at my nails. It ain't been 10 days yet, but I'm like, it wouldn't hurt to go get another color because I got blue. I think I want to go get pink or something. But I got to get my eyebrows done, my lashes done, and my my face girl is gonna come to me. So I guess I need to get off here so I can get ready. I got to go to my office and do some books, and I need to send out the rest of my gifts because I don't know when the deadline is to send out gifts, but I got to send them to put them in the mail so that they can get to my people by I almost finished all my shopping on yesterday as far as the seniors. I gotta go and get, I couldn't, it's been hard for me to find them some knitting stuff. But the only thing left to get is I gotta go get some puzzles. I want to drop a puzzle in all of them bag. And I want to get some knitting stuff for the women. They like to knit. And for those of you all that have family members that's in nursing homes, don't wait until holidays to go see them. Make sure you go and check on your family members once or twice a week to let people know that you love them. Don't just drop them off and leave them there. Your family members, like your grandmother and your mom and all of them, they take care of you your whole life. And then when they're unable to do what you need them to do, you just drop them off at a facility like they're not loved. When these facilities know that they're loved, they tend to take care of them more. Don't do this to your family members. They done change your shitty diapers and all of that when you couldn't do it. Now it's your time to do the same thing for them. People are so selfish. That's true, Athea. That's true. I'm making sure I'm going because earlier this year, and this was like 2 months after my dad died, um, this organization had a dinner in his name, to give him an award. And I had every intention on going, and I didn't go. I didn't. One of his co-workers, my sisters was not in the mindset to go either. I had every intention on going, but I couldn't go. It was too early because I was like, I can't, I just can't go accept an award for my dad. And I'm still trying to process the idea that he's not here because my dad and I used to talk at least 3 times a day. Like I was looking at our text messages, and I made a mistake and pulled up because he used to email out stuff, you know, as it relates to different things that was going on in the city. I was reading those emails the other day. I was like, dog, he sent out emails every day. Like he could write so well, and he was keeping everybody abreast, all of the different politicians and stuff, you know, bringing stuff to their attention on what, you know, needed to be done. But I was reading our text messages and stuff. I'm so glad that I still got that. It's a darn shame that, like, with some of my phones, because you had some of these vloggers that paid to have my phone hacked, which is the reason why I'm dead set on getting all of them. I had to reset my phones, and some of those text messages that I had from my dad from years back, I don't have anymore. So I'm making them motherfuckers pay for that. You bitches gonna pay for a lot of what y'all did. Even if it ain't for me, you gonna pay for some of the dirt you doing now. You gonna pay for it. If I can't get it back in blood, I'm gonna get you in jail. And I said I wasn't gonna have that mindset because I've been going to grief counseling. But if I can't see some of you motherfuckers die of an overdose, if I can't have the pleasure of seeing that, I'm going to see you in jail. Let me get off of here because I get mad at, I got to call my mama because when I start getting that anger, it makes me want to spend more money to have some more shit brought up. Y'all have a good day, okay? Shout out to Mia J for I have to call my mom to calm me down, okay? But shout out to Mia J for doing such a good interview. I stand behind her in this movement. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all pray today. Ask God to go before you. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.